What are we discussing today?
We're going to make a major announcement today.
What is it?
As a lot of our viewers know, I have been traveling between Nashville and Boston for quite some time due to work arrangements.
Are you going to stay in Nashville forever now?
I sort of wish, but unfortunately no. In about 2 months, I will be shifting my work focus to Boston, which means my time with Mushy and the kiddos will be significantly less than before because they will be staying here in Brentwood or Nashville, Tennessee.
This was a tough decision for our family, but a much tougher one for Pushy, to be fair.
Mushy and I have had a lot of conversations on how we should proceed with my Boston move as a family. Selfishly, of course, I want them to be right next to me, but weighing everything on a fine balance. And by that, we mean 3 main things. My future in Boston, if I ever get to leave Boston, Mushy's current career, which she is doing more than an awesome job, and our potential individual contribution to the kiddos and this family for the next few years.
Factoring all these considerations in, we have decided that Pushy will go to Boston for work and come back to spend time with us whenever he has a break.
We both believe that long-distance relationship will be a stressor for our marriage. Heck, it is already stressing me out at this current moment.
Pushy and I have certainly done long-distance relationship in the past, but never since we got married. So this is definitely a first for us.
Looking back, when we first started doing this channel, one of our main intentions was to spend more time doing something together as a couple. But now, looking at the future, I think it is inevitable that we won't have enough time to do this together anymore, which I'm definitely a little bummed about.
Aww. But I do think Pushy has a lot to offer to the general public. After all, I do consider my husband a self-made overachiever who truly has a kind heart and is more than willing to give back to our community. And he has been, to be fair. But I think he should continue to do this because I truly believe he has the personality for this, and what he can offer could be extremely beneficial to a lot of people.
After some self-reflection and discussion with family and friends, Mushy and I are going to finish our time together on this channel going over a book that we have been reading together, which we believe is an excellent read for all couples.
We talk about marriage for 1 episode during our very early time doing this channel. And as we face this tremendous stressor in our marriage at this time, meaning Pushy's move to Boston, we thought this was the perfect time for us to finish and share this book. Then this channel will transition to mainly just Pushy.
Yup, if you came here for Mushy's face, you should unsubscribe in about 2 months because you will be having very, very little, if anything, to do with this future channel. Now, I do not intend to change the name of this channel because I just don't want to. Not that I feel anything special about this channel's name. I just don't want to. I simply don't want to.
Okay.
I just don't.
Aw, you're going to miss not having me in the videos.
Nope, I just want to keep the name of this channel. That's it. No reason. No other reason.
Okay.
No rationale. Just stubbornness. Has nothing to do with you.
To prepare for his solo show, Pushy has actually signed up for both Instagram and TikTok under the name Dr. Bao that I recommended, or something along that line based on the name availability.
You do not need to subscribe to my Instagram and or TikTok. The reality is, it's likely the same content here versus there. So unless you are super active in all those social media platforms, I don't really see the point because you can just get everything here.
So what will you be talking about on your solo show?
Things I believe to be useful for many people. But first, let's talk about this marriage book.
All right, let's go.
Howdy folks, welcome to our channel. I am Pushy.
I'm Mushy.
And we're the Pushy Mushy, yeah!
Serious.
So, B. serious is actually a gram-positive bacillus that has the potential to cause food poisoning.
Seriously.
We will do our best to combine facts with humor, but if we do make mistakes, please let us know and we will do our best to correct. Please like or dislike, hopefully not dislike, subscribe, comment, share, and press that bell icon.
Great.
The name of this book is called The 7 Principles of Making Marriage Work. We're going to cover all 7 principles by the end of this video series. But for today, we're going to cover the first chapter.
The author of this book is Gottman, and he focuses on research-driven and evidence-based ways for couples to improve their marriage.
The book is a great read, in our opinion, for all couples at any stage of their relationship, including before marriage. Because you know what happens after marriage? Everything goes downhill.
That's not true, although Pushy is somewhat right in that. After marriage, we often magnify each other's mistakes and bad habits.
Many things we used to say, no big deal lah. My love for her or him trumps everything. All of a sudden becomes, everything is a big deal lah now.
Reality checks and unavoidable conflicts from time to time adds up.
The general divorce rate is about 50% in the United States. But keep in mind, this is an estimate over 40 years of marriage.
The author claims that he can predict whether a couple will divorce after watching and listening to them for just 15 minutes with high accuracy, like over 90%.
So, let's say we were married.
We are married.
Okay, let's say we are married.
Let's say we are married.
See? Everything is a big deal after marriage. Okay, so we are unfortunately married. Okay, so we are happily married. But unfortunately, bad luck or bad things happen from time to time. And we get upset with each other. And things don't improve. And we get more and more upset with each other. All of a sudden, one of us throws out a sentence, let's get a divorce. And the other person, unwilling to back down, or simply also extremely unhappy with the current situation, agrees. At this point, the main question becomes, why save this marriage?
There are many benefits to saving a potential salvageable marriage, but one of the key benefits cited in the book points out the people who stay married live 4 to 8 years longer than people who are not.
Let that sink in. That is saying you live 4 to 8 years longer so you can be tortured by your spouse. Is that what you truly want?
That's not what the book is saying.
True. The book does mention there are unsalvageable marriages, and in those scenarios, a divorce is certainly appropriate.
The author reports that his method is more effective than most marital therapies and points out why most marriage therapies fail.
The biggest myth, according to the author, which is followed by most marriage therapies, is communication. The author does state that he is not saying communication is not important, but it is not enough to save your marriage. The author went on to say that even happily married couples can have screaming matches and arguments, and that loudness doesn't necessarily harm a marriage.
Another myth about marriage is that neuroses or personality problems ruin a marriage.
Per the author, we all have issues we feel irrational about, and these issues do not always interfere with marriage. The key is not to exacerbate these issues in a non-stop fashion for your spouse.
Another myth about marriage is that common interests keep the marriage together.
The author states that this is not the case if common interest creates conflicts or tension for your marriage.
Next myth about marriage is if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Keep the marriage going.
The author explains that such a mentality ends up causing couples to keep a running tally, which is not necessarily healthy for a marriage. Keep in mind that the author is clarifying these myths based on research. So you and us might not agree 100% with all these demystification because maybe some myths actually do work for us. But this is what the author is stating.
Next myth, avoiding conflicts will ruin your marriage.
Author states that conflicts don't necessarily end marriages. They can, but they don't have to. It all depends on the couple.
Next myth is that affairs are the root cause of divorce.
The author lists evidence to explain that most divorces do not blame extramarital affairs to be the cause. Yes, there were cases where affairs were the cause of divorce, but these were only about a quarter of the time.
Next myth, men are not biologically built for marriage.
This book suggests that environment is likely more important than biology or genetics. The book actually states, now that many women work outside the home, their rate of extramarital affairs has actually skyrocketed, attempting to explain that the biology part between the two genders is actually not entirely unique to just one gender.
Last myth, men and women are from different planets.
The author cites that both men and women value friendship to be the most important factor in a happy marriage. Again, suggesting men and women are similar to a great extent in a marriage setting.
In the next episode, we will discuss what the author believes that makes a marriage work well, as what he believes would predict of divorce. Then, we will dive into the 7 principles.
Let us know how you feel and we will respond in a timely fashion. We're the Pushy Mushy. Thanks for watching.
And